Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the Fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the
What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another beer review. Tonight we are checking out Coffee Bender by Surly out of Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. This is another beer from the beer mail package that my good buddy Dan sent. I cannot get Surly beers in California. They are a Minnesota brewery and they do not distribute outside the state. So I love their beers. I've had a couple of their other beers. I actually did a review of their overrated West Coast style IPA. That was a while ago now, it seems. But I was ordering their beers online just because I liked them so much I couldn't get them and was paying crazy amounts to ship it. But luckily, I befriended a kind gentleman by the name of Dan who is right next to the brewery in Minnesota. So he's been cool and he sent me some Surly beers. So I'm really looking forward to this. They are getting ready to move to a new facility. So I don't know if they're expanding or what their deal is, but if they wanted to start sending beers to California, I sure would be a happy camper. So this is a brown ale brewed with coffee. It's a 5.1% alcohol by volume, 45 IBU beer. So just a nice little brown ale that supposedly, from everything I've heard, is really, really good, but it pretty much drinks like an iced coffee. So I'm not really a big coffee drinker, but I like coffee-forward beers, which I guess seems kind of weird, but it is what it is. So looking forward to this one. I'm not going to waste any time talking. I'm just going to open this thing up and get right into it. So I'm using a little snifter glass, stout glass, see if we can get some coffee aromas going, if we even need it. Who knows? So this pours it looks black on camera, but it's got like a deep ruby, like a ruby red, dark kind of reddish orange color around the bottom of the glass. Poured about a half a finger of khaki head, really super tight bubbles around the side of the glass. There's just some small bubbles in the middle of that. Nothing like big and soapy. It's hard to tell. There's a little bit of carbonation on this side of the glass. It's hard to tell just because the beer's so dark how the carbonation is, but it didn't pour any like crazy kind of head. It's got some decent lacing that it leaves there. I can smell coffee right off the bat. That smells like a cold cup of coffee. Exactly. I don't really get much on the nose other than coffee on that. It actually smells like if you were to leave a cup of coffee that was hot on the counter for a while and it cooled off and you were to grab it and pick it up and smell it. It's exactly what that smells like. Maybe a little, I want to say it's like roasted malts, but it smells like roasted coffee. I don't know what kind of coffee they use in this, actually. I should have looked it up. I think it's, does it say on here? It doesn't. I think I'd read it was like from Guatemala or something, maybe. I don't know, but yep, it smells exactly like a cold cup of coffee. So there's really nothing much else to add to that one. Then let's go ahead and check this out, Dan. Thank you, sir. Cheers. That is coffee, coffee, and more coffee. That's actually really good. Very refreshing. But I get nothing. The coffee, it's so coffee forward. Maybe it's just huge, huge, huge coffee and more coffee. A little bit of bitterness, middle of the mouth. And then just finishes with that roasted coffee flavor. If you're a coffee drinker, if you like coffee, you will absolutely love this beer. It does. It tastes like an iced coffee. I wish there was like something else I could say I got out of that, but it is so strong, coffee forward. That's it. It's coffee and roasted coffee and roasted malt. It's nice. It's got a nice little bitter bite, middle of the mouth, but it finishes. I mean, it feels a little thin, But I keep forgetting this is a brown ale. It's not a stout. So I mean that now that I'm remembering it's a brown ale, I kept thinking in my head this was a stout because it was so coffee forward. But for being a brown, I mean it's thin, but I mean that's what a brown's supposed to be. That's a tasty beer. I mean I'm not like a huge crazy coffee fan, so I mean for me personally that's like a B plus. If you like coffee, this would be an A plus for you for sure because it tastes exactly like a cup of coffee. Surly makes great beers. And they have an awesome logo. Dan was actually kind enough. He was in Idaho with us for our podcast, and he brought me a Surly t-shirt. I was wearing it the other night. And my son was like, how come the one face is mad, but the other guy's smiling? It's funny. So, yeah, this is a good beer. B plus for sure for me. I mean, I'm not, like I said, if I was like a huge coffee fan, I would give this thing 1,000,000 stars and say it was an A plus. But, I mean, another well-made beer from Surly. They absolutely know what they're doing. And I really, really hope someday that they start shipping beers to California. So, I'm going to wrap this one up. I kind of feel like I should go make some breakfast. Have some, like, I don't know, bacon and eggs or something with this thing. You could totally drink this in the morning and not feel bad about yourself because it does not taste like a beer at all. It tastes like a nice cup of coffee. That's good stuff. So thank you, Dan. I'm going to wrap this one up. As always, thank you for the likes. Thank you for commenting. If you've had this beer, let me know what you think of it. If you've not had this beer and you're anywhere near Minnesota, make the drive. Check it out. If you like coffee, this beer is for you. So I will talk to you guys later.
Ever since I was younger, I was into video games.
Somebody like the fuse so I can bring bad news to all these crews who can't NBA jam with the shoe.